Hello and welcome. I'm Bongbardo and this is Zen in the Art of Gaming. Today, I want to talk about how video games are amongst the last domains of freedom from consequences left in life, depending on how you play them, of course. I want to talk about how important it is to have a space to learn and how essential for our sanity it is to have a place where it's okay not to know what you're doing, and how much of a fucking blast it can be.
Let's go! You said it couldn't be done! Put my crown on!
This obviously applies to all kinds of games, but I'm specifically talking about multiplayer games here. Single player games just tend to hold your hand so much that they never really inspire that raw feeling of not knowing what's going on. Unless you're playing something like a simulation or a challenging strategy game or Dark Souls. But none of those necessarily involve other people, and that, paradoxical as it may seem, is the critical variable in generating the magic of a space where it's okay not to know what you're doing. Because in a single player game, you are the god of that universe. You can play and pause it as you please, you can lower the difficulty, you can weasel your way out with walkthroughs or cheats or whatever. So of course it's okay not to know what you're doing. It doesn't matter. But when other people are involved, it suddenly does kinda matter.
What is your wall? What is your wall to go around? Do a normal wall for one time to do a wall.
Which is what makes it even funnier when you really don't know what you're doing.
Enemy spotted.
Anyway, I think you'll get what I mean by the end of the video. Imagine for a second what it would be like if you walked into a class or a place of work or a social institution where you know that at the end of the experience, it will basically be like it never even happened. No test, no job appraisal, no romances blown with the guy or girl of your dreams. Now add to that the fantasy that you enter the space without any idea what the gig is or how to succeed at it. Your only option is to infer from context what everyone is doing and try to go along with it.
Edwards, what the hell happened? May I ask why you felt little Tiffany deserved to die?
I'm thinking, 8-year-old white girl, middle of the ghetto, bunch of monsters, this time of night with quantum physics books. She's about 8 years old. Those books are way too advanced for her. And to be honest, I'd appreciate it if you eased up off my back about it.
The only tools at your disposal are your understanding of language and the power of human consciousness. But there's one last thing you need to imagine if you're like me in order to truly appreciate what it's like to be a noob jumping into a multiplayer game cold. Imagine if you really, truly didn't care or couldn't understand enough to care about the outcome of the activity. Now you can imagine what it's like to be dropped into a server for a shooter. You don't know what's going on, your only helpers are the yelling teammates trying to communicate the objective to you in a language that can only be described as memelish, and when the game is over, it disappears into a digital void that leaves no trace. Pretty psychedelic when you think about it. There is no experience closer to dreaming than when you first dive into a multiplayer game. Unless you're doing ayahuasca, maybe. It's surreal, consequence-free, and utterly confusing. Now there is something you could do to drain all the fun out of it. You could try to win. Now, my friend, you have set yourself up for a never-ending nightmare of sweaty tryharding. Most people are so conditioned to play games to win that they completely forget why they started playing games in the first place. Because it's fun. You can't really explain what you're doing and why you're doing it. It just brings you a sense of comfort, camaraderie, joy. But it's incredibly important to retain in life a place where it's okay to fail.
That's what I'm talking about. And I fall to my death.
And where it's okay not to maximize, optimize, and rationalize all the fun out of it. For some context, when I first entered the world of CSGO, the only real experience I had with shooters was with arena shooters like Unreal Tournament 3, where I only ever played deathmatch against bots. In other words, I had never really played a shooter with an objective, other than kill everyone you see. So when I entered a match, never having played CSGO, never played a tutorial, never even having seen someone playing it, I literally had no clue where to go and what to do. I didn't even understand that I was defending one of 2 sites where the enemy team would try to plant a bomb.
What are you doing?
I was watching A. Watch his face. Dude, that scared me!
I even managed to get a kill, but then I just flailed around like a fish out of water because I didn't know what key to hit to defuse the fucking bomb. Needless to say, my teammates were furious. Choice words like retard, cuck, chutia were thrown around. But a quick Google search later, I was ready to defuse any bomb in existence. Unfortunately, I still didn't get the site A, site B dichotomy, so I crouched in the corner of the wrong site the entire round while my team was slaughtered one by one. My teammates were screaming at me. B, they yelled. Go B! And I was like, B? As in sting like a bee? What mysterious code is this? I figured maybe I was supposed to move like a bee and I manically started strafing from side to side. Then the bomb went off in the distance and realization dawned on me as my eyes finally noted the mini-map in the corner of the screen. Oh, B, as in Site B. Right. This is just one of the myriad experiences playing shooters that have driven me to the edge of insanity by how funny they were. I got called a motherfucker so many times that first week playing Valorant that the word lost all meaning to me. There was also the fact that I had no idea how the maps worked, so as far as I was concerned, the entire experience was like being stuck in that maze from The Shining. I gratefully discovered the deathmatch feature and I thought that would be a great way to learn the maps and master the gunplay, and it did. After about 400,000 deaths, that is. In Valorant, you die quick. Most gunfights last less than a second. For a couch gamer like me that generally took about 2 to 3 seconds to line up shots with a shitty controller in one of those sad single player campaigns, it was like being thrown into the ring with Muhammad Ali and being told to just go for it. I was so comically outmatched nearly 100 hours into playing the game that I'm not gonna lie, I was starting to wonder if there might be something wrong with me. I mean, how could I be sure that I wasn't retarded? You know what I mean?
Do you ever worry that you're retarded and no one is telling you?
Thankfully, I persevered and I got my mouse sensitivity down, started to understand the fact that you cannot move when you shoot in games like CS and Valorant, and soon enough, I was winning at least 1 in 3 gunfights. 0.3 KD ratio, biatch. I think the biggest thing that holds people back from most things in life is that they are afraid to fail, to be embarrassed, to be a loser. We forget the reason we watch movies and read fiction is actually because it's really fun to watch a loser finally win. Now imagine you're that loser, and all you're looking for is just one little win. Not trying to win the game necessarily, just trying to do something you've never done before. Maybe you're still looking for your first kill. Try camping the fuck out. Or running around like your dick's on fire. Stay prone the whole game.
Is he AFK? He might be AFK. That's an easy kill. Shit.
Whatever it takes to get that little win. Then, if you're feeling proper spicy,
try going for the knife kill.
just set little achievable goals for yourself that don't guarantee you'll be disappointed. Because while the movie running in your head might paint you as some savant badass that glides by every challenge without breaking a sweat, the truth is we're all pretty bad at things we've never done before. Just accept it. It's okay not to know what you're doing. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, maybe drop a like. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you want more essays and reviews on stuff to do to fill the empty spaces of your life. Wow, that came out a lot darker than I expected. Anyway, moving on. I also put up original science fiction and fantasy stories and lots of other content. So hope to see you in the next one.